Welcome to the Talking Shop podcast. Tuesday night, no football, no wrestling, just the Talking Shop podcast.
Oh,
I
and this
am I am your co-host, Josh from Grand Slam Cards, along with Michael.
hello. Yes, it's just us and the small basketball league that starts tonight. Just us and them.
It's already underway.
Nothing else. How are you, Josh?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing well. We've got a lot to talk about, so I'm just going to go through the rundown real quick. We are going to be talking about, in the opening rip, our predictions for the NBA. Josh and I are going to display our ignorance about professional basketball. We'll touch on week 6 of the NFL, along with the MLB playoff picture. Did the Yankees win or the Guardians win today?
Yankees.
The Yankees win.
Unless something unbelievably crazy happened. They were winning big and it was late, so I assume they won. So,
well, there we go. We're going to go over some new products in the shop. One of the ones that I am looking forward to is that Topps Luminaries baseball product, because I love baseball, especially high-end baseball. We're going to recap trade night, give our takeaways from it, talk a little bit more about grading. We dipped our toe in the water of that last week, but there are some developments since then. Card from the vault, new products that are coming to the shop, and then we're going to end, as usual, with crazy stat of the week. But first, Josh, NBA starts tonight. Do you have your little cheat sheet in front of you?
I think I do, yes.
So we're going to give our picks. And if you want to, some players or cards that may be interesting to you because of those picks. So we're going to start. Let's start with the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic Division. Who comes out of that Atlantic Division for you, Josh?
Unless the Brooklyn Nets can get it figured out and get clicking, I got to go Celtics there.
Okay.
Although they're in a neck and neck battle with the Sixers as we speak. So
nice.
I could see either team, but I would take the easy route with the Celtics.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that talent overcomes dysfunctionality, and say that the Nets are going to come out and win that division. And I've always been sort of a Kyrie guy. The hobby is sort of lukewarm on him, but I've always said, when I'm not a basketball expert, but things just look different when he is playing. He plays a beautiful brand of basketball, and so I'm hoping they get their bleep together and win that division.
Yeah, and you got to think, Durant and all of those guys are going to click one of these days, and you would think.
Yes. Yep. All right, Central Division. Who's coming out of there for you?
Man. I'm going to take the easy route with the Bucks, I guess. I would like to see the Pistons. I think that would be good for business, but don't sleep on the Cavaliers. But
that's where I'm going as well. And they picked up, who's their offseason pickup? It was Donovan Mitchell, right? He went to the Cavaliers. So I've got some eyes on some of his not really expensive cards, but some of his lower end cards, just because I think he's going to be fun to watch with that team, and we'll see. All right, Southeast. Who do you got coming out of the Southeast?
Gotta go Heat. They kind of just fly under the radar.
Okay, who's the guy with the Heat? Is it
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy Butler, but he doesn't get any hobby love, right?
No, he doesn't. He is that team that's just like, Tyler Hero, and
I mean, he's like a veteran now, right? Remember when he blew up like a couple of years ago in the bubble? Like he scored 37, and his cards went crazy.
Yeah, he's that Zion Ja rookie class, that 1920 class.
Nice. So I am actually going to go with you there with the Heat. I just checked out um, some of the odds, and one team that I have that I'm looking at as far as interesting young players is actually the Magic. Right? You got Cole Anthony there. This kid from Germany, Franz Wagner, however you say
It's Wagner.
Wagner. He's really, really talented and has some high basketball IQ, and I think that makes him an interesting pick. So, but I think we both agree on the Heat. All right, let's jump over to the Western Conference, the Northwest Conference, and to full transparency, I had no idea that these conferences were like Northwest and Southwest. I just had no idea. That's how we know about the NBA.
Yeah, we just went Eastern Conference.
That's right. All right, Northwest. Who you got?
T-Wolves. I'm gonna go Hobby Love. Edwards.
He is fun to watch, and the Hobby loves that kid. And he gives a great interview. Part of the reason why the Hobby loves him because he gives a great interview, right?
That helps.
So that helps. Hey, Jeff, thank you for chiming in. Let us know you're out there if you're listening or if you're watching. Let us know.
Fruits and veggies.
I am gonna go with the Nuggets. I think they're going to be pretty good, and as much as I want Damian Lillard to sort of keep going and break through, he's sort of lost out there in the West. But I think the Nuggets are a good team. All right. I think this may just be an easy one for both of us. Maybe Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. It's like betting against Brady and the Patriots in their prime. You just don't do it.
Well, I'm going to pull a Josh and be contrarian here. Apparently, Kawhi Leonard is healthy, and he's looking Zion like. He's like ripped. So I'm going to go with the Clippers coming out of that division. What's up, Matt?
Mr. Roper.
Missed you on Saturday, Matt. Where were you, man? Well, not really you, but your kid. He's fun. He always brings his cards, and he has good cards. So next time, he's got to be there. You, optional. Drew, he's got to be there. Hello, Facebook user. All right. Southwest. Who do you like coming out of the Southwest?
I would love for the Pelicans to do it, but I can't go against my boy Luka. Go Mavericks.
The Mavericks. All right. You know what?
You get some good choices there. Yeah, there you go. Grizzlies.
I'm gonna go with Ja. I'm gonna say that if he stays healthy, hopefully people have been sort of saying his name in the same sentence as like a Derrick Rose.
Yeah,
like early in his career, Derrick Rose was electrifying, and then it just the run of injuries, and he's not that big of a dude, and so he's going to get tossed around. But I think this may be, I think this early in his career, he's going to get knocked around, but he's going to recover because he's young. So I think I'm going to pick the Grizzlies. So we're going to revisit this. Give your thoughts and your picks in the comments. We'd love to know what you guys are thinking. Hello, Mr. Facebook user, once again. Let's move on to the NFL. And so I started splitting this up for our takes in three categories: fake or real. What's up? Better than we think, and worse than we think. All right. So fake or real. And these are the leaders of their divisions in the AFC. The Bills, Chiefs and Chargers, Ravens and Bengals, unbelievable. Titans and Colts. So who's fake or real out of those leaders?
I mean, the Bills and the Chiefs are both real.
They're very real.
They're going to be there at the end. That's just it's going to be that way. it's with the Chargers, it's always the same thing. Can they get over that hump?
Yep.
And you just see them kind of flirting with that, and then they'll pull out a win. And I think they're 4-2, but it didn't look the greatest. But they're 4-2.
Yep.
I think the Bengals will start clicking. So I have a hard time saying any of those are fake. But the Chargers make me nervous. The Bengals made me nervous, but Burrow starts clicking and Jamar start clicking. All of a sudden, they're dangerous.
So I've been famous or infamous for just sort of lukewarm takes. So here's my hot take. I think the Colts figure it out.
We did say that before the season started.
I think the Colts figure it out and they go on a run. Now, they may just go on a run and just ruin the chances for somebody else, but I think they go on a run. I don't know how long of a run, but I think the Colts figure it out. All right, on to the NFC. Eagles, 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks. Shockingly, the Seahawks. Vikings, Bucks, Falcons. Most fake or most real team there?
Golly.
Well, obviously the Eagles are going to be the most real.
Yeah, but I still think there's a little smoke and mirrors there. But
really,
I don't know.
You're just waiting for the other shoe to drop with them, huh?
Yeah, that would be a good way to put it. Yeah. I think their undefeated record. Not saying they're not good. Don't get me wrong by any means, but undefeated record, good, maybe not. I think the 49ers are just going to be a good team that, they just aren't going to go anywhere.
Right.
The Rams are a complete mystery. I don't know what you think there, but the Seahawks aren't going to do anything. No offense, Geno Smith. I would probably be scared of the Vikings. The Buccaneers are going to get it figured out too. There was ESPN was talking today about the Bucs and the Packers. They're both kind of in this weird, what's going on? Why aren't they? And the guy on ESPN said, if you're going to pick one to right the ship, you got to go Bucs. They've got a lot more talent, and it's just getting that talent to realize. Where the Packers, they don't have a whole lot of talent besides Aaron Rodgers. So I think the Bucs are going to be fine long term. And the Falcons are a mystery to me. I just
no kidding.
Mariota going to be.
I was shocked. I was like, who's playing quarterback for the Falcons? And then freaking Marcus Mariota, who was supposed to come in and save the Titans back in the day, disappeared. Was he out of football? Was he completely out of football?
No. He was just backing up everybody.
All right. And now look, he looks legit. He looks like the quarterback that the Titans thought he would be. So we'll see. You know what? On this list, I really do think that the Eagles there's something brewing there. I think they may be for real this year. Which would these classic teams, these old school teams, when they're great, their fan base is so good and vibrant that it's good for the hobby too. It's good for football and it's good for the hobby. So,
well, your list didn't include the Jets. Hey, are they for real? I'd be curious what you think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jets are rocking and rolling. I believe in the Jets and that talent more than I would some of these others on this list, personally. AFC is going to come down to the Bills and the Chiefs. Let's just not kid ourselves.
Well, so I have it here. Are the Patriots better than we think they are?
As a Patriot homer, no, because they're, unless Mac Jones comes back and just really settles in, they're just Ramondre Stevenson. They're riding him in the defense, and you got Bailey Zappi. He's just a placeholder until Mac's back. And
so here's the thing: I ripped a box of Luminance football and pulled a Bailey Zappi rookie, and was just gonna sit on it and maybe send it in for grading if he did something. But he started. He took him to the lead in the game like 2 weeks ago. I listed it on eBay for like, $130, and got an offer within 20 minutes of like $99. I was just
sell it. Matt comes back and never gets injured. You'll never see the guy again. That's
absolutely.
And the Jaguars. We didn't talk Jaguars. I mean,
yeah. So the Jags look good too, and good for T-Law. I mean, he's got a lot of pressure on him, man.
He had 3 or 4 touchdowns if you count running ones. He had a strong week. Then the Giants.
Yes.
Where's they at? They could very well win that division.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Danny Dimes, Saquon. Who out there sitting on some Saquon Barkley rookies, right?
Yeah, and Saquon's kind of the engine behind that.
Yeah. Yep.
Vehicle.
All right.
The good thing about it is it's kind of like it's not just going to be a runaway,
Yeah.
Because we say Bills and Chiefs, but Bengals got something to say about that, and a few of the others in that division.
Well,
or in that conference.
I know this opening rip is running long, but we touched on it in pregame. This is by far the best time of the year in sports. I mean, we're talking about 3 major sports. Basketball is early, but I mean, all kinds of parity in the NFL. And the last sport we're going to talk about is baseball. The Yankees are in. So real quick, your picks between the Yankees and the Astros, Josh. Who do you like?
Yeah, I'm going Yankees. I think that Judge has had a rough start. He hit a home run today.
Yeah. Oh, he hit another one.
He hit a home run today. So yeah,
so he's warming up.
Yeah.
So
I saw an article that said, or someone's tweet or something quote that said, if I was Aaron Judge, I would jump the fastest I could to sign with another team after he had the season that he had, carries him to the postseason, then goes in a little mini slump and they boo him.
Oh my goodness.
And the guy said, I'd tell New York, see you later. And I'd sign with another team so fast. So.
Shame on those fans. All right. I like the Yankees too, just because I just think they're just too talented there. And I'm not a big Astros fan. And then Phillies and Padres, what's Tatis thinking these days, right?
Yeah. I mean, for business sake, I hope the Padres. Personally, I hope the Phillies, because Schwarber's my boy.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah,
I would say Padres, but.
Yeah, I'm going Phillies there. I think the Phillies, there are some parallels between what the Phillies are doing this year and what the Braves did last year. And so I think there may be something brewing there. And then who do you like to win the World Series? For you, it's either between the Yankees and the Padres.
Yeah, who I would like. Yeah, I mean, who I would like Philly. I would like the Phillies too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna go 7. It's gonna be the Phillies in 7. So I think the Yankees are gonna have a hard time stopping scoring as many runs as them. So yes,
Mackie says Judge can come to Atlanta. We won't boo him.
Yes.
You're right.
Come to Atlanta. Could you imagine? Aaron Judge in a Braves uniform? It would almost look weird. In fact, it would look weird.
It would look weird and awesome.
All right. What is coming to the shop? Let's stop talking sports and more cards.
Yeah, so there's some releases this week. So tomorrow is Impeccable WWE.
Nice.
It's Cobb, who's in the chat here, sent me a video that he uploaded of a box that he opened. It was actually a pretty darn good box too. I'm going to see if I'm going to put the link to his video in the comments. Nice. If I can find it. So bear with me while I do that. So that was fun to watch him open that box. But we have that coming tomorrow. Bowman Sterling is this week. It was set to come out tomorrow. Topps got it to our distributor a little bit late, a day late. So it'll probably arrived to us a day late, but Sterling Baseball is on the way. And then certified football, Spectra basketball, a new baseball product, Panini 3 and 2. We'll have some of that. Luminaries is a high-end baseball product. We'll have some of that. And something we've never carried before in the shop is TriStar Hidden Treasures autographed footballs. We've done the jerseys, we've had the helmets, we've had the mini helmets, baseballs. We've never had mystery autographed footballs. So those come out this week as well. So we'll have those maybe tomorrow, or if not the day after.
Nice. Come get your Christmas shopping done early. Those make
and
great
on
gifts.
the post, for the first time, we have actual loadable gift cards down at the shop. So as Christmas gets a little closer, fantastic. We sell a lot of gift certificates as it gets close to Christmas. So now we've got some nice quality ones.
It's Cobb says he's pumped for Impeccable, but can't wait for Chronicles, because this year's Chronicles, WWE Chronicles, has National Treasures in it. So that'd be super, super cool. So Josh, did you find that link?
Looking for it now, not because I can't, because I wasn't logged into YouTube on
All right, while you are looking for that, we'll go behind the counter, do a little bit of a trade night recap. I'll start. Trade night did not disappoint.
Never does.
The regular crowd, to be honest, Josh, I don't know how you felt about it, but with all the stuff out there about card shows being dead and the hobby being down, I thought it was going to be crickets. I didn't think that. I was afraid. That was a fear of mine that it was just going to be dead. It was not. Everybody that's been at the past ones were there. Some guys brought friends that hadn't been to a trade night. To me, it looked like a lot of transactions were happening. So it is alive and well. Oh, you found it. So he's going to drop that in the chat. And I'm going to watch that tonight. I can't wait to see that. So a couple takeaways for me from trade night was that, and you said you're going to be contrarian to this, but playoff baseball is still awesome. Everybody bangs on baseball. But I love it. It's exciting. These games are too long, though. They're, to me, because that game wasn't even over by the time trade night was over, right? I mean, I don't know when that game ended.
The only game that was long was the Mariners and that game went 16, 17 innings. So, that one was long. But that's like every at-bat, the elimination hangs on every
You're
hit.
right.
So I like that. I'm in the camp of I like longer, especially when it's playoff time. And it's like me with movies. If I go to the movie, I don't mind 3 hours plus because I paid my money. I want to be entertained. And,
right.
So that's me. If, I don't want them all to be as long as that Mariners Astros game, but I'm okay with long rather than short when it's playoff time.
And my second takeaway was basketball was starting to gain some momentum. I mean, basketball's always going to have some sort of a interest, just because that traditionally in this modern card market has driven the market. But now with it starting, I got more questions about the very few basketball cards I had. I started getting more watchers on that. So how about you? What were some takeaways for you?
I would say trade night, great turnout. It was the softest of all the turnouts we've had, which in a way was kind of nice because you could almost move around a little bit. Our trade nights are so busy that it's like sardines. But I was really pleased with the turnout. It was hopping, and I know multiple people that the only reason they didn't come was because of prior appointments. So. Yeah, I was super pleased. We sold some stuff. We had some cool stuff opened.
Oh, yeah.
I only picked up one Brady the whole night. And if Jay is watching, Jay, I didn't even pay you for that card, so I still owe you $40. That's the
nice. Nice. But I mean, some blasters, like 2 downtowns were pulled in one night. I mean, it was
Yeah,
crazy. It was crazy. I don't know if we posted those, but that was nuts. I mean, within 10 minutes of each other. So a
yeah.
good time was had by all.
And the
So
Mariners Astros game was on the TV,
yep,
so we were having fun watching that as we were wheeling and dealing. It's Cobb's bringing me another Brady tomorrow. Anthony, we'll talk Halloween soon. Yeah, Halloween Ends was the worst of the trilogies, but don't get me started on that. But Anthony's a big Halloween / Michael Myers fan, so we'll talk that.
nice. Nice.
If you want to see WWE Impeccable opened, Jacob opened a box over on his channel. I linked it there in the comments, so go over and watch a box of it get opened and check it out. It's pretty sweet.
Fantastic. All right. So, and if you guys have any questions that you want Josh and I to give our take on, that'd be great. And I think did we say hello to Jeff? Hey, Jeff. I'm not sure if we said that was like way up there in the comments. What's up?
We did. We did.
If you have any questions for us that you want our take on, please, excuse me, drop those in the comments and we'll get to them. I do want to follow up and get your take, Josh, on this continuing saga of price changes for grading. Did you see what BGS, what their response to the price changes was?
I did, and I like it.
Okay. So for you guys who have not seen it, let me share my screen. They posted this on their Instagram. And I have a question for you because I'm not really sure. So $22 a card with subgrades, because before this change, they had some $18 with no subgrades, and then the next tier you'd have to go up a tier to get the subgrades. So they changed that. So $22 a card with subgrades, $18 a card without subgrades. I'm not really sure why anybody would do that, since that's sort of their thing.
And it's a pretty close price too.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what they mean here? It's $16 for single grade only.
So probably it looks like for orders over 40 cards. So it's probably you got to have 40 cards plus and no subgrades.
Okay. So I don't,
because if you're going to do no subgrades but only like 22 cards, then you got to do 18. That would be my guess.
All right. I'm not sure why they just didn't stay with the same without subgrades.
Yeah. The only other thing I could think of would be, autograph stuff. That's what I was thinking, where you get a grade for the auto and the card. But the fact they say over 40 cards makes me think that's kind of their bulk. They want to get, we're not going to spend time subgrading it, and we'll crank them out faster.
So how much you bring up a great point. How much extra time does it really? I mean, they're having to do it anyway, right? To grade a card. How much extra time does it take to do subgrades? I'd love to know.
Probably more than you think, though, because you can do it in your mind a lot faster than having to document and really, because they probably can. I don't want to ever say wing it, but look at it, and say, overall with that edge, with that corner, with this, overall the card is here. When you got to really break it down, why am I giving this an 8.5 on the edges or something? That would be, plus they probably got to enter in all 5 of those grades for every card. I could see it taking a decent amount of time.
I don't know, man. I think they should just.
They ought to do. Yeah. Some people don't like subgrades, maybe because they want to maybe mask what's wrong with the card. I like it. I'm okay with it. Beckett's my second favorite slab just to display the card.
Right.
I think they have the best looking label. But I like SGC's black back. But I really love the look of Beckett graded cards personally. But
well, so let's just stay with the pricing here. So $22 a card with subgrades, minimum 10 cards. They're saying that it's a 45. This is a wide range, 45 to 90-day turnaround. Okay. The 45 to 90-day turnaround time with PSA is $50 a card. And BGS does not have any declared value.
Yeah.
Does this bring Beckett back into the grading game for you?
Yeah. I mean, what Mackie just said, it's just too bad they don't bring the same SPSA, but maybe if they advertise this heavy enough and word gets out there, it's almost like the card industry gets very latched onto something and it's just hard to get them off of it. And, that's, I'll admit if we submit everything through Palmetto, and I don't know if it was as easy to submit with Beckett just through Palmetto, I would probably send more stuff with Beckett for sure.
It is a
I don't know.
pain.
But my short answer is, I don't know if they can just kind of pull away from what the industry is latched onto right now.
Right. Yeah, we've talked about it before. The thing that saved Beckett through this whole transition, this whole grading thing, is the fact that some of the biggest cards ever sold are in Beckett slabs. So that helps them. To me, this is
my two biggest cards I own are in Beckett slabs, believe it or not.
To me, this is compelling enough to find 10 cards and give this a whirl. Now, what those cards are going to be, they're probably going to be baseball, or they're going to be thicker cards. But this is, I don't know how the hobby is going to react to this. If you look at some data from Gemrit, in September, this is a crazy number, right? PSA did 1 million cards in a month. Beckett did 63K.
Look at the percentage.
Yeah. Well, so if you look, let me see. Can I get back to this? So that percentage is because they only did 41K in August.
So but wouldn't they say, see, we're trending in the right direction?
Right.
Will it be 80 the next month?
We'll see. The one question mark for me is this whole CGC or CSG question mark, because they seem to they're sort of like the little engine that could right now. Their turnaround times are good. Their slabs they look great. But for some reason, there's just zero resale value for them, and so we just don't know. But back to the original question, what's it going to take? Is this going to be sort of their last stand for Beckett? I think this is well timed because people can submit their Bowman stuff and get it back before baseball season if they start submitting. They say that this is sort of a limited time offer, but we'll see. Clever
marketing. Well, yeah. If they went from 41 to 67 in a month without this, I think another month will tell a big story.
Yeah.
That CSG not being that resale value, it's that same stigma. I told you, this industry just latches onto one thing and won't let it go. Prism being the king, and PSA being the king, and certain players and certain players not. It's just hard to turn the ship sometimes in this hobby, I've noticed.
Well, just to give an illustration for you guys watching. So we talked about basketball. It's starting tonight. Tatum's on the floor right now. you could see the clear difference. So the blue line here, for you guys that are watching, the blue line here, those are sales of the Jason Tatum Silver Prism rookie card in a PSA 10. And then the green is the Silver Prism rookie card in a BGS 9.5. Now, keep in mind, if you guys are new, if anybody listening to this is new to the hobby, the 9.5 is gem mint for BGS. So that is their version of a PSA 10 is a 9.5. And over the last year, it's I mean, you could see where it sort of gets close, but it's eerily consistent how much more the PSA sells for. If you look at current prices, it's $950 for that card in a PSA 10, and it's $640 for a BGS 9.5. I mean, heck, if you could find this at BGS and snap it,
yeah, guys do it all the time. Send it a 9.5 to PSA and get a 10 and bump it up. What, $100 or $200?
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do for the sake of the podcast, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some cards and maybe record myself going through that process of submitting straight to BGS and see what that's like. Drop it in the comments what sort of cards you would send to BGS if you could pick some cards that you had saved for grading and were thinking about maybe sending off in the next month or so. What cards would you send over to BGS? Would love to know. So
I was thinking of those cards that I'm just like, I don't think this will get a 10, but if I can get a Beckett 9.5,
yeah,
that's the next best thing. So,
and I don't know. I mean, we've kicked around that idea before, but I don't know if that's a good thing for BGS. It's sort of like, I know this isn't going to get a 10, so I'm going to send it over there.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the thing that suppresses their value.
Yeah,
so
the cool thing is if you got a card that's like a perfect 10, maybe you'll send it to Beckett and get that, black label 10.
And so for you guys that don't know, there is a Beckett 10. It's a pristine. And then above that, I believe there's a black label, which is like a flawless card.
It would be like your Beckett card gets a 10. On your subgrades, it's 10, 10, 10, 9.5. Yeah. So you'll get a 10 and you'll be pleased because your resale value will be awesome on it. But if you get a 10, subgrades 10, 10, 10, 10, then it's a black label and the price just went way up.
I've never seen one live. I've never seen a black label in hand. So have you?
Yeah, we've had a couple come through the shop. I mean, I always remember a teenage kid bought a no-name black label Beckett card we had in the case a couple years ago and didn't care about the player, didn't know who the player was, nothing, just always wanted to have a black label card. So he bought it. It was like 20 or 30 bucks. And that's just a no-namer in a black label. So at the National, I saw a case full of them.
What?
Yeah. If you go back and watch my little National 5-minute video I put together on the YouTube channel, if you pause it at one point, there's a showcase and you'll see a whole bunch of black label 10s in there.
Nice. Yeah, I've never seen one in hand. For goodness sake, I've never even seen an SGC gold label in hand.
I haven't either. I haven't seen one of those.
So, and if you guys are wondering, if you guys were watching this, or if you guys go back on the replay and see the video, why I didn't pull up an SGC 10 of Jason Tatum, it's because one hasn't sold. So I guess that card is old enough to where there just aren't any SGC 10s of that card. So I think somebody chimed in here.
Just Mackie daydreaming.
Yeah, fix it.
I might buy the LeBron rookies, and I might be able to find you a buyer for the Jordan stuff. Hit me up.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be interesting, in a month to see what sort of volume Beckett gets because of this pricing. We'll see. There are some loyal Beckett folks that are just waiting for them to get their stuff together. So we'll see. All right, let's move on to card from the vault. Why don't you go first, Josh?
Mine goes along with my stat of the week, so stay tuned. My stat of the week will involve this player as well. I took the front off of it so you can see the card a little clearer. This is a Mike Trout out of Topps Tribute. A nasty patch. That's from the All-Star game. The patch does say event worn memorabilia. This is numbered to 9. So this is number 3 of 9. Because my stat of the week involved this man, I thought I'd dig something out of the vault. This is just a card that I didn't want to sell because it just looks so cool and I love it. So
well, I think that's a good candidate for BGS. That would look great in a BGS slab.
It's pretty clean. Those thick cards are tough to grade because instead of 4 corners, they've got 8. But this one does look like it would grade well for sure.
Let's do it. So
if you can't get 10 cards, let me know. I'll throw a couple in there.
Absolutely. So mine, I showed, this was a card from the vault when it was raw and it was encased. And so I sent it off to be graded. And let me switch the screens. Oh, you got it?
I was going to try, but I can't do it. You did it. There you go.
Here we go. Little Jason Tatum downtown.
Out of Panini 1-1.
1-1. PSA 10. So glad that got a 10. I would have been frustrated if that thing was encased and got less than a 10, but it happens. I know it happens.
That Panini 1-1 product is really cool. I remember one of the regulars down at the shop. It was probably a year ago. Bought one of the 1-1 boxes, and those were at the time they were like $1,000. You're getting 2 cards, and one's a guaranteed auto, and then you get this other base card or sometimes a downtown. But maybe this was 2 years ago, but pulled the auto and it was like George Gervin or something like that. He just spent $1,000 on it. But the downtown was Curry. Ooh. And it was at the height of the hobby when those boxes were $1,000. So that Curry card by itself, he went home and listed it on eBay and it brought at least $1,000, maybe $1,100. So
yeah. How much do I value the downtown? I don't know.
What's it comp at?
I think there's some listings on eBay that are north of $2,000. So it probably will not pull that unless he drops like 60 tonight. But it's probably going to be in that $1,800-$1,900 range for that card. I think that's safe for that for now, unless he goes crazy and. The
game tonight, I've just peeked in at it. It's virtually tied at halftime, so good game so far.
Nice. All right. Speaking of downtowns coming out of the 1-1, it'd be interesting to see if downtowns come out of the 3-2 baseball, because those would be sweet. I know it's going to be unlicensed, but if you look at some case hits or rare inserts coming out of some Panini product, even for baseball, those things do hold value. Like the blank slates out of Diamond Kings, very sought after. So it'd be interesting. I'd have to look that up. Might be worth.
I'm excited that they're doing that product. The boxes, I've looked at the pictures online. The boxes look really cool.
Oh yeah. All right.
Smart moves, Panini. Smart move.
All right, next week, what's coming to the shop next week? We got some pretty juicy products coming next week, right?
Yeah. Let's go ahead so Panini Black football, always hot. This is, I believe, a first time select draft picks football. So this would be the new class. I guess in their draft uniforms and with the select branding. So I don't know a whole lot about that. I'm very curious.
Now, just out of ignorance, I've seen select, like I've seen Matt Corral's. I've seen Matt Corral on select card in his Old Miss uniform. Is that out of Chronicles? Is that why I've seen that?
Or maybe you've seen an XRC.
No. His XRC is going to be his Panthers uniform, but I have seen Matt Corral in his Old Miss uniform in a select product. So that's probably Chronicles, right?
Yeah, it would have to be Chronicles. Yeah, I don't know why I said XRC because those are notorious for being their pro uniforms. So
Matt Roper, thanks for chiming in. Yes, it is Chronicles. So, so it'd be cool, a cool product. You know, I know that last year they did the draft picks mosaic, and I think they did that again this year. So it'll be neat to see the select draft picks football. So what else is coming?
I was just looking at that. They have the color wheel inserts and the zebras and stuff in those as well. So, select is all regular select hobby is always super late in every sport. So this is still 21-22 select basketball. So that's what Cade Cunningham class. So that's probably the last of that class for hobby product to come out. Chronicles baseball is always fun and inexpensive, and can be loaded. And then Topps Update. Everyone's waiting for Topps Update. That's all goes well, I think the very end of this month.
Fantastic. Yeah. So do you think, let me just pick your brain. We were talking about Topps Chrome and the overreaction to Topps Chrome baseball. Yeah. Do you think because of that the Topps Update series is going to be more sought after or less sought after? Because they're not coming out with Topps Update Chrome in hobby. I believe that's either an online only or retail.
Yeah.
So what's your take on what the market is going to look for, or what the market sort of appetite's going to be for that Topps Update series?
My gut says it'll probably be really good. And if I think people will probably, before they jump the gun and buy, they'll do some research. Everyone wants to know, all right, are the right short prints in here? And once they know they are, I think it'll be all systems go on that stuff. So plus it's always way less expensive than Chrome. So you'll get your chance. You could buy 2 boxes for the price of what you could buy Chrome for. So I think it'll sell really, really good as long as Topps doesn't drop the ball on this. And I would be shocked if they were, because of the blowback they've gotten from overreaction. Topps Chrome overreaction.
Here's a hot take on this one. I think to make up for what happened with Chrome,
they're not that sure.
I think they're going to toss in some goodies. I think that there may be some
damage control,
like some hot boxes. I think I remember this. You could get a hot box back in the day. When I say back in the day, I meant like a year and a half ago. But a year and a half ago with Allen and Ginter, right? You could get like a hot box, and every card in the box had this rainbow foil feel to it.
Yeah, I actually opened one once. Yeah,
I think they're gonna seed these boxes with something juicy like that, just to make up for that and let the hobby know that they've got their back. That's my call for Topps Update. Now I don't know,
as opposed to just a few extra short prints, make them just a little easier to pull.
Yeah.
But then it takes away some of the luster, I guess.
I think that they're going to do something. So that's my take on that. Last year's update, I think, was a little bit lukewarm. I think everybody is wanting this update series to be something spectacular just because it has been in the past. But I'm hoping that they sort of try to redeem themselves and make it a product that everybody's looking forward to ripping open. So,
yep.
But, all right. Any available? When are we going to be breaking again soon, Josh?
Good question. Well, when the right product comes out and we're ready to take the breaking gloves and put the breaking gloves back on, probably not too long.
Okay. Good. I know that I'm looking forward to seeing some more breaks hit the market, and the guys in the chat here are probably looking forward to some of that too. So, all right, let's wrap things up with crazy stat of the week. Josh, what is your crazy stat of the week to wrap
Mine,
things up?
like I said, centers around Mr. Trout, who flew under the radar this year. He had the back issue, and there was these rumors of, is Trout going to be done? Is he going to have to retire? Is he healthy enough to play? Blah, blah, blah. Trout not only was healthy enough to play, but he had a surprisingly monster year for the amount of games that he played. So we did a little math. I mean, just because most people probably don't know off the top of their head, he hit 40 home runs and batted 283. So to put it in perspective, he had more home runs than Ohtani. He had a higher batting average than Ohtani, and he played in way less games. So he missed 43 games this year and still hit 40 home runs. And when I heard that stat, I was kind of like, that's a crazy stat of the week, is what I thought. But so we did a little number crunching before, and had he played in all the games and not been injured, he would have ended with 54 home runs.
Wow.
Would have been second behind Judge, and not that far behind Judge, who was on a historic pace this year. So that was just, how can you be Mike Trout and have those numbers and play that well and be overshadowed? Just have Ohtani on your team, I guess.
Right.
But so Trout has an off season and his back feels pretty good and he comes back strong. He's kind of like, LeBron in his prime and those guys that you can just kind of hand MVP to him every year because of how well they play. So that really blew me away that he could hit 40 home runs with a bad back and 43 less games.
And Josh and I were looking at some card pricing, and we were thinking, just check it out for yourselves, guys. See what Trout rookies are going for now and where they were. And if he stays healthy, goes on another run, now may be the time to maybe jump on a couple of those. Anthony is saying he's calling for a certified break. I tend to agree. I like certified. And Mackie is saying Ohtani is not happy. Ooh, there's a take.
Mackie's got some inside juice.
I know.
You heard it here first from Mackie Presley.
That's right. So my crazy stat of the week, let me show this photo since it's basketball season. Wilt Chamberlain averaged in the same season where he scored the 100-point game, he averaged 48.52 minutes a game for that season.
And so when I heard that stat, I said, wow, that's a lot of minutes. How many are in a game?
48. So apparently the Philadelphia was in a lot of overtime games that season. So, and he played in just about every game, every minute, every game. And why would you take Wilt off the floor ever? So I just thought that was a crazy stat.
Yeah, that is. I'd never heard of that. That's crazy. He averaged more points or more minutes than there are in a game for an entire season.
Well, guys, if you've lasted through this entire episode, please like, subscribe, comment, leave us a review. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong so we can stop it immediately. Josh, any parting shots before we let these guys go and catch the second half of the Celtics game?
No, there's some baseball on, there's some basketball on, and football in a day and a half. So it's a good time to be a sports fan. Come down to the shop, spend some money, keep us in business. That's all I got.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you. Good night.
Yeah.